Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Steve. Welcome if you're new. In case you haven't noticed, YouTube just removed its dislike button function. So you will be able to see the dislike icon, but you won't be able to see the dislike counts for the videos that you're watching. Unless you are the content creators themselves, then you can go to YouTube Studio and check out how many dislikes you received. I personally disagree with this move, and even though I have received some dislikes before that don't really make sense to me, YouTube claimed that the reason that they did it was that they want to reduce the dislike harassment towards smaller content creators on YouTube, which I see some validity to it. But all in all, I don't agree because this is a part of censorship that we don't want here in this community. And then it also kind of disrupts people's judgment call on deciding whether the video is good or bad or to their liking, because it kind of cloths the like to dislike ratio. And that just kind of based on this whole situation, I had just some sort of reflection about why it is so hard to take in criticism, negative feedback for so many people, including myself, because it really did hurt to see people sending you dislikes or just negative feedback. And in my past, I've had my fair share of even personal attacks, because being a creator online, you're putting yourself out there to a sea of audience that you don't really know a whole lot. Some people might agree with you, some people might disagree with you, and some people might take that disagreement to a bit of an extreme. So that being said, it doesn't have to be a bad thing to receive some criticism or negative feedback, because it's a sign that you are not just attracting attention from people that will only agree with you. That means you're not in a soul echo chamber anymore, and that means you're kind of having a wider range of audience, which is good because it's more publicity. However, we do need to realize how we can approach criticism and handle it in a healthier and more mature manner, because I've burned my fair share of bridges in the past, and some damages were done and are no longer reversible. So now I've done some research on this topic, and then able to understand why it's so hard for me to take in criticism and some of the solutions as to how to alleviate the pain. So the first part that I want to include in the video is why criticism sucks so much for us. Why does it provoke a much stronger reaction in us than praises or positive feedbacks? So from an evolutionary perspective, we naturally respond to negative stimuli way more intensely than the positive stimuli because of survival need. Let's say if you missed on an opportunity to have a promotion or have a big feast, the worst you're going to suffer is either just not being able to get too full, very satisfied with what you eat, and or you won't be able to enjoy the kind of quality life that you wish to have. That's it. The only thing you will suffer from is regret. However, on the other hand, if you missed out on a negative stimuli, for example, a very dark sky that indicates horrible weather or a tornado, and then you still chose to go out, then the consequences might be as severe as death. That's why our body is designed in a way that we respond to negative events way more strongly. And then I found this study that was conducted in 2001 that find out that it takes our brain experiencing 5 positive events to undo the psychological effect of just one negative event. So this is real emotion that we're feeling and real chemical reaction our mind, our brain is having. So don't be too harsh on yourself if you feel very uncomfortable when you see criticism and just very negative feedback towards you. That's why I really don't like the phrase "don't take it personally," because we are going to take it personally. It's an evolutionary need. And then another thing is we're all egocentric by nature, because we look at the world through the lens of our own eyes, and we look at the world from the perspectives of our own experiences. So it's very hard to see other people disagreeing with us, and our mind just perceives it as a potential threat because it's something foreign to us, and we want to eliminate this mental threat. That's why we tend to have a very strong reaction to it. With that being said, it doesn't mean that there's no ways around facing criticism and being very emotional about it. From my own years of experiences, I find 3 solutions very helpful for me to get past these criticism, and I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. I'm not going to pretend that I'm somebody that's invincible, that no attacks can get to me, but I do find some improvement in my way of handling them. So the first solution is to do your own research to understand your brain, to sufficiently comprehend the mechanism of your brain activities and how does it handle criticism and something negative that you don't like that makes you feel uncomfortable. When you don't understand something, especially about when you don't understand yourself, you become very kind of anxious, and you might go into this panic mode because you don't know how to do, because you are losing control. You feel like you're not in power. You can't even control your own body, your own mind. And that's when you feel this helplessness that might set you into panic mode. And that's why it's so important to first understand yourself, whether through reading research paper or talking to a professional therapist or just talking to people who are way more experienced in these things than you, and getting suggestions or advice from these people. Either way, it's really crucial for you to understand why you have these reactions to begin with. And then the next solution is you want to set up a mental filter to actually sift out actual insults and people and remarks that came from a malicious place, a malicious intention, which has nothing to do with the things you say, but rather you as a person. So you want to filter out those malicious remarks so that you can leave room for the actual constructive criticism. You want to kind of just let them go, and then don't even bother thinking about them because they're not worth it. And then the third solution is you want to face onto your own insecurities. More often than not, the reason why we react to these negative criticisms so emotionally is that they remind us of our own insecurities. Doesn't matter it's financial insecurities or body insecurities or just personality insecurities. They all make us feel the most vulnerable and just very shitty about ourselves. It's almost a reminder that you're not good enough, and it's hard for you to become good enough because those are your deepest and most vulnerable insecurities. So the fundamental solution to fix it is to face onto your insecurities and look into your deepest fear, and then just work on it. So once you're able to sort out your own insecurities, criticism might not actually be that scary, and they actually can make you a better person. The bottom line is you want to distinguish the good criticism from the bad criticism, and then it doesn't matter how you feel about them, they're already being said, and you're already being exposed to them. You can't undo the memory. The important thing is to make them worth it, and take a look into these feedback and then see if they actually make sense, if they're actually true about you. And if they are true, what are you going to do about it? And if they're wrong, how can you defend your reputation? And that's all you can do. It's more like, in another word, how to take on a proactive method rather than reactive method. So that's my 2 cents on this topic, and I wonder what's your beliefs and opinions about it, and please let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to having some discussions with you. If you like this video, please subscribe and then like it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, take care.